In 1983, Car and Driver released its first 10 best automotive list. The Honda Accord was on that first list and has been for 38 years ever since, more than any other vehicle. Come see why the Accord is consistently rated as one of the best vehicles on the road at Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
That would be concerning and maybe set a precedent moving forward.
If you have plans to be outside, you might hit a couple of these little passing showers.
A drug bust and a few arrests made. Look at what they hauled in here. Yeah. Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for being with us here on WAFB Plus for 9 News Now. I've actually been watching this shot right here for the last, I don't know, about 90 seconds, and it's been fun to kind of see, just flocks of birds moving through. They know they're on camera right now, so now they're not going to show up. Yeah, exactly. Camera-shy birds. So here's the thing. It's kind of a cold start out there right now, Jerry. We've talked about this. Anything in the 30s is just downright cold. You just label it cold. It's going to get crazy cold down here pretty quick, though.
It really is. And Matt, I saw the birds a little while ago too.
So
See? They're
there.
there.
You go.
They're out there.
They're there.
Flying south for the winter. They're like, I thought we were there. We got to go even further south
Further.
now.
You're right.
Good grief. Yeah, it's going to be really cold. This is going to be bitter, brutal cold that we're going to be experiencing over the next couple of days. Starting today, relatively quiet. We're above freezing at 38 degrees. We are mainly cloudy, and it looks like we're going to be on the cloudy side throughout the day today. 33 New Road, starting off the magic number of 32 up to Macomb, and 42 in Gonzales. On our way to high temperatures in the mid to upper 40s in the afternoon. I drew in this line right over here. All of our viewing area is under a winter weather advisory from 6 p.m. this evening through 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. But if you live to the southeast of this line, New Orleans, Houma, back to Slidell, that's mainly going to be in the form of rain. And even if there are a couple of areas of ice pellets that sneak in there, no ice accumulation is expected down here. But Baton Rouge, adjacent areas, minor ice accumulation will be possible, a trace to 1/10 of an inch after midnight tonight. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it only takes a little bit to cause a problem on elevated surfaces. Hard freeze warning is in effect area-wide, or it will go into effect area-wide, and that's going to be 10 p.m. through Wednesday at 10 a.m., but we're still going to get another hard freeze tonight and a few more like it later on in the 10-day forecast. Wind chill advisory, that's going to go into effect from 9 p.m. to noon tomorrow. When the winds get over 15 miles per hour, which they might tonight and tomorrow, that's going to make it feel possibly as low as the single digits overnight. The winds aren't going to be bad today, at or below 10 miles per hour on your MLK Monday, but then Tuesday, it's already going to be brutally cold on Tuesday. Then you throw these winds into the mix, and that's going to make it feel even worse. So when we wake up on Tuesday morning, the raw number will be 25 degrees. That's cold. But look at Wednesday morning down to 18 degrees. That's why we could easily see single-digit wind chills on both of these nights. Obviously, protect all 4 Ps. The duration of each of these hard freezes will be at or above 12 hours. So that is a prolonged amount of time to stay below freezing. Big deal. You definitely want to wrap those pipes. Meantime, the little bit of pink we have close to here, that's not hitting the ground, but what is hitting the ground around the I-20 corridor, north of Shreveport into Arkansas, Mississippi, they've got a wintry mix over there. In our neck of the woods, here's the HRRR. They take us into the mid to upper 40s. I agree with that. Whatever falls out of the sky today is going to be in the form of light rain showers. So when do we get an issue? I would say after, it's a couple of hours after we hit freezing. So million-dollar question, what time do we hit freezing? This is 10:30 p.m. tonight. We just get to 32. So remember, it takes a couple of hours after that point. So at this point, this is all still going to be in the form of rain. But once we get to 1 in the morning, look at that. Still have showers. Now we're in the 20s. That could be problematic. That's when we could see that changeover and get some freezing light rain out there. For today, mostly cloudy throughout, highs in the upper 40s, then falling temperatures in the afternoon and continuing to fall very quickly overnight tonight. Again, the overnight low at 25 degrees. So there could be a little bit of freezing rain and a little bit of light sleet. All of that ends very early Tuesday morning. Tuesday afternoon, the sun comes back out. But then we've got a couple more cold snaps. So once you wrap those pipes, go ahead and keep them wrapped, because look at next weekend. We got a few more 20s out there and a few more hard freezes. So these are, we've got the dog days of summer. I don't know if you can call it the dog days of winter, but man, oh man, Matt, it is going to be really, really rough out there.
It is, and so we got some time to get ready for it. Let's get you ready for that now. If you have to get out and about, and not too many people are, you can see this, Jared. It's just not a lot of folks out there. It's a federal holiday, obviously. You got schools off. This is the Governor's Mansion curve there at 110. Very light traffic. Look at this. Up 110, this is right near that airline highway interchange. literally just one hand needed to count some of this, some of the traffic you're seeing. And as you cross over the bridge, the big bridge over the Mississippi River, really no issues out there as we kind of get going with all this. We'll keep an eye on things. If the drive gets sideways anywhere for any kind of issue, we'll of course let you know. Want to check those headlines for you as you get going on that Monday morning for you. This is what we've been talking about leading up to. We knew there was going to be a special session. It was just how many there was going to be. A couple of them. This is the first one. This is the one all about redistricting. A federal judge telling Louisiana that your congressional maps do not accurately reflect your state's population. Go back and do it again. Actually, Louisiana is one of a number of states who got handed that notice by federal judges. We got until January 30th to get this done. Got to add another majority black district. So that's where lawmakers are going to be today. Beginning about 4 o'clock this afternoon, State Capitol, this special session convenes there in the House chambers. It could be a bit more than just redistricting. You could have them talking about things like how we just vote in this state. You know, we have a jungle primary. The primary is everybody, you can vote for whoever, and regardless of party affiliation, and that's called the jungle primary ahead of any kind of general election. Could the jungle be going away? They could talk about that as well. Again, this is the first special session. We think another one obviously planned dealing with crime. Governor Jeff Landry said he wanted to tackle that, focus on that. We'll follow it for you, obviously. Again, first one beginning today. Want to let you know, I tell you, it was a rough weekend for some of these stories here. This one is just absolutely heartbreaking. In Ascension Parish, Gonzales here, a mother and a 1-year-old found shot to death. Now, deputies were called out to this scene about 5:30-ish yesterday evening. They said they got there and found this mother and her child shot to death, gunshot wounds. Officially, the identity is not being released just yet. Got to make sure the family is notified. Obviously, that's standard procedure. What they're saying right now is that they believe this is a domestic violence incident, and they actually do have a person of interest in custody right now. But when you talk about a mother and a brand new, infant, 1-year-old, details beyond all of that a bit limited. The investigation, even with somebody in custody, is continuing. We'll keep you in the know. From that to this, a person in serious condition after being hit by a vehicle. This is East Baton Rouge. This is Sunday about 6:30-ish. Airline Highway near Sherwood Forest. You know where those two obviously come to an intersection right there. Very busy. That person taken to an area hospital. Actually, we're told still in the hospital right now. Serious conditions. As for how it all kind of happened, again, that investigation continues. And keeping you in Baton Rouge, East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office called to, this is the La Quinta Inn and Suites, Riga Road, is that right? Exactly right, Riga Road. Saturday afternoon, found a man dead in one of the hotel rooms. Made the identification already, 34-year-old Kwame Patrick Paul. Now, how he ended up dying, not quite sure. A homicide investigation has actually been opened up here. So again, this is a Saturday afternoon-ish, the La Quinta Inn and Suites there on Riga Road. If you happen to know anything about that, if you recognize the man's name, know anything at all, make that phone call to Crime Stopper, see if you can help him out. Okay. This is the story for the next number of days here in South Louisiana. And Jared's done such a great job of kind of letting you know the timing on when these temperatures are really going to hit. Power company, Entergy, the big player here in South Louisiana, saying they're going to stop all their disconnections, regardless of payment of bills, for the next number of days, at least until Friday, and then they're going to reevaluate it day to day because it's going to get that much more crazy cold out there. Don't want to put anybody out, so to speak, just by disconnecting the heat. So you don't have to worry about that. But there are some things that you can do beyond all that to maybe make that home of yours a bit more ready for these freezing temperatures. This is not typically something we've got to deal with very often. I mean, we live down here for a reason, right? But this is one of those pipe buster of an events if you don't take those precautions. So get outside. I was doing it yesterday. In fact, I got 3 faucets outside. They've all been wrapped with the tubing and then some extra cloth, and then they got that kind of cover over the top of them as well. And then some will tell you that, drip the faucets on the inside of the house. And we do these stories all the time. No more than like the thickness of a pencil lead if it gets going, just to keep the water circulating through your pipe so not everything freezes if it were to freeze, and then you have that bust. Some things you can do to, well, maybe not cost yourself thousands of dollars in the long run with a busted pipe. How do you protect your plants? Obviously. My wife and I moved some stuff in yesterday inside the house, and we actually pre-laid the tarp in a number of different areas. 4 different sections of tarp around the house ready to go, and later on today I'll actually just pull that over the plants and stake it down. It really is kind of simple, and that way you can protect as best you can anyway some of the plants out there. Look, these are things you know how to do. We just don't have to do them very often, but we are going to have a run of days, as you've seen from Jared, getting ready for what's to come. And it's not just that. Pay attention to your vehicle. Pay attention to your car. It's parked out. Look, I don't have a garage. I got a carport, and I'm just parked out in the driveway most of the time. Your car is like, can I get inside? And no, the answer is no, car, you can't come inside. So the impact on the vehicles are going to be, watch the battery of yours. It may struggle a little bit. Again, it's not used to being down here south or all the cold temperatures either. Pay attention to your vehicle. You know the sounds that it should be making. It's your car and the sounds that it should be making. Just check on that. Make sure you're driving around. When you are driving around, go slow out there. You never know about a little bit of ice accumulation. We want to see everybody make their way through all of this. So as we get ready for that, right? It just so happens to be Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, celebrating the life and the legacy of this man who fought for civil rights and fought for the right for everybody to be treated equally. There's a number of events today going on in celebration of him. Callie Hubbard actually live this morning at the MLK Center in Baton Rouge, talking about some of them. You can find a full list right there. Our digital team kind of laying that out for everybody. So Jared, here's the thing. They talk about it being a day of service, right? Not a day off, a day on, getting out there and working it. But if they're getting out there and working it, bring the coat, man. It's going to be cold.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And today, comparatively speaking, Matt, it's going to be warm. I mean,
you're right.
We're expected to have highs today in the 40s, which is normally cold, but highs tomorrow fail to make it out of the 30s. So a typical low temperature is going to be the high. And then as we get up Wednesday morning, we're going to be around 18 degrees without the wind. If there's even a little bit of wind blowing, we could be looking at single-digit wind chills out there both tonight and tomorrow night. That's dangerous cold. I don't care where you're from or where you live. I mean, even up north, this is still brutal cold.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like I'm back in Wyoming, but my family in Wyomingers, they're already in the negatives right now, and they're looking at us like we got a balmy 18 degrees going on. So you're right, it's just crazy everywhere.
Yeah, it definitely is. And then the other concern will be the possibility of freezing rain late tonight into early tomorrow.
You're right. We'll see you on the mothership in 10 minutes.
See how you can save thousands whether you buy here or sell here at the Team Automotive Group. Sell your vehicle to us and we'll pay you top value, or buy here and get a 90-day warranty on the purchase of a pre-owned vehicle. Get Team VIP service at every location of the Team Automotive Group.